First, we're going to start off by making our two little witch feet and stockings here. I made one already to show you what it looks like, but we are going to make the other one here together on camera. And this is what it's going to look like when it's all finished. I chose purple and green for my witch stockings, and then the same body color as the body of my backpack for the shoe. So we're going to start the shoe like this. I'm going to make the shoe first, and then the heel, and then this part of the shoe, and then we're going to crochet it together and then add the stocking. So let's get started. We're still going to be using our 4.5mm crochet hook, and I'm going to start with my gray yarn, make a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 11. Then we're going to single crochet back down the chain in the back bump for a total of 10 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now we're just going to single crochet one time in each stitch all the way down the row for a total of 10 single crochets again. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now we're going to increase right here in the first stitch, which just means 2 single crochet stitches in the same spot. So that's 1, 2, and then we are going to single crochet one time in each of the next single crochet spots for a total of 11 single crochets in the row. Chain 1, turn your work. Now just single crochet one time in each stitch all the way across again for 11 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn your work. We're going to increase here in the first stitch again, so 2 single crochets in the same spot, and then single crochet one time in each spot down the row for a total of 12 single crochet stitches in the row. Chain 1, turn your work. Now we're just going to single crochet one time in each stitch all the way down again for a total of 12 stitches. Now we are going to chain 5. So that is going to build this little part of our shoe. I'll just leave this here so we can refer to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the chain closest to your hook. Starting in the next chain, we're just going to single crochet one time all the way down for a total of 16. So I'm just going to go right there in that chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, back down my chain 5, and then the rest of the stitches will just go right in these spots like normal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, chain 1 and turn your work. Single crochet 16 back down the row. 1, 16, chain 1, turn your work. Single crochet 16 back down the row one more time. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now we are going to get started on our heel portion right here. We're just going to single crochet 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, turn our work. we're going to decrease over the first 2 stitches here. So to do that, we're just going to insert our hook, pick up our yarn, pull it through, go into the next stitch, grab our yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through all of the loops on your hook. That's a single crochet decrease. And then we're going to single crochet 3 for a total of 4 stitches in the row. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet 1 time in each stitch for a total of 4 single crochets in the row. Chain 1, turn your work. We're going to decrease again over the first 2 stitches right here, just like that, and then single crochet in the last 2 for a total of 3 stitches in the row. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet 1 time in each stitch, 1, 2, 3, and now we can cut our yarn. There we go, tie off, and now you can see this is how much of our witch shoe that we have, and we need to do this part. So I'm going to insert. I like to go in the same direction that the row was already going in, so I'm going to insert my hook in the same spot the 5th single crochet from the heel was, so we're going right in that same spot again. And then I'm going to single crochet 12, starting in that same spot. Chain 1 and turn our work. Single crochet 10. And then decrease over the last 2 single crochets. So insert, grab your yarn, go into the next stitch, grab your yarn, yarn over, pull through all stitches, chain 1 and turn your work. Now we're just going to single crochet 1 time in each stitch for a total of 11 single crochet stitches. Chain 1, turn your work. Single crochet 1 time in the next 9 stitches. And then decrease over the last 2, chain 1 and turn our work, and now single crochet 1 time in each stitch for a total of 10 single crochets. And now we can tie off. We have one little witch boot here. We have to do this exact same thing again and make 2 boots per foot. So you'll need 4 boots total. I've already made these 2 and attach them and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and make this other one, and then we will come back and attach them together here on camera. If you need to rewatch that part of the video to make this guy again, you can totally do that now, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have both of my little witch shoes crocheted. Now I'm going to sew in all these crazy tails because I didn't do that with this one, and there, I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's a whole bunch of yarn tails shoved down in there, and I can't get the thing to flip inside out, so I'm just gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna sew in the tails for this one. This is gonna be like this, so we need to see which one of these. They probably, yeah, they look the same. So I'm going to put, this is gonna be the right side. I'm gonna sew my tails in on this side of each shoe, because this is the side that's going to be out, and I don't want my tails to accidentally pop out. I sew in my tails with a tapestry needle. This way is the easiest for me to ensure that they are really in there. They get in between the different fibers of the yarn, and I just keep going back and forth until I feel like that puppy is not coming out of there. And then I take a pair of scissors and snip it off. I'm going to do that for the rest of all of these little tails and then I will come back and we will put our little boot together. Okay, all of my tails are sewn in on my little witch booties. Now I'm just going to put this one on top of this one, and since this is going to be my right side, I'm going to insert my hook over here in this corner and then in the same spot on this side to attach my yarn. And then I'm just going to single crochet all the way around these little booties until I get back up to this corner, because then I have to add my purple. So the main thing is that you just kind of put a couple extra stitches in the corner pieces. Also, it looks really cute because then it kind of looks like her boots come out past her ankles. And then we are going to just line up our spots, line up our stitches so that our hook is going in the same spot for our front piece and our back piece of our boots, and then single crocheting them together. Just gonna do that all the way around. And I won't be stuffing these or anything. I just chose to make them like this instead of just one piece because I won't have to block it. Look at that. When you do two together, it helps it keep its shape better. It does add a little bit of weight to the backpack, but I don't think it's enough to make it unusable. And I'm just gonna do this whole thing on camera because I might do something that you find helpful that I forget to say it out loud because I do it so often I don't even realize that I'm doing it. So I'm just going to record the whole thing and then play the whole thing in real time so you can see exactly how I do this. It's a little tricky trying to find spots for your hook to go, but it helps knowing that both of the spots will look the same. So I'm going to put three stitches in this, the toe right there, just to help it round really nice. Remember that if you put 3 stitches on this toe, you're going to need to do it on your other one as well so they look the same. This backpack is for my daughter, so I'm not being super particular about, those tails will probably stay in there when I attach these legs to the backpack. But if I was making them for a customer, I would be a little bit more particular about making sure everything looks perfect. And sometimes too, where we've sewn in our tails first, and that's why I didn't do it on this one, it makes it a little hard sometimes to get your hook in the stitch if you've already sewn in a tail there and everything's kind of jumbled up in between the fibers. That's why I didn't do it on this shoe, but like I said, it was really difficult to go back. Okay, so now I'm in an actual stitch. It's the second corner, so I'm going to put 3 right there. And now we're going to go across the bottom, and those are actual stitches to line up into. So it's going to be a little bit easier for a few stitches at least. Okay, back up the inside of our shoe over here. I'm going to go back in that same spot. It's not really a corner, it's more like angle, so I'm just going to put 2 stitches there instead of 3, and then keep going. down the inside of the heel. We are almost back to the beginning. My daughter is super excited for this backpack. I'm going to put 3 in this corner. I've been telling her I'm almost done with your witch backpack. I've made the witch feet. She's been really excited and looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll get some cute pictures and post them at the end of this video so you guys can see her rocking her new witch backpack. Okay, coming back to the end here. And then I'm just going to slip stitch back into that same spot where I just put my last single crochet. And now I'm going to cut my yarn and tie off. And now our little boot is ready for our stockings. Okay, it's time to add our purple and green to make our striped little stockings here, and I'm going to insert my hook to join on the back. This is the back side of the shoe. That way if I do get a little weird seam, it's not on the front of the backpack, it'll be on the back next to the child's body, so it won't be seen at all. And I'm not sewing these in until after I get the stockings, and that's because I like to pull them into the inside of the stockings, which I'll show you that when I get to it. I'm going to start with purple, join my yarn, and that's 1 single crochet there. We're going to go for 20. There should be 10 in the front and 10 in the back. Okay, we've got 1 in the back already. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to put 11 right here, because remember there was 1 on the back already, so that's going to give us 10 across the front, and so we should have 9 more on this side to get to 20. Keep this out of the way. Wait. Pull that down and then put your stitch in. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. Join into the top of our first single crochet, chain 1, and now we are going to do that again. We're going to have 3 rows of green, 3 rows of purple, 3 rows of green, 3 rows of purple, 3 rows of green. So let's do another row of purple. 1, 2, 18, 19, 20. Join into the top of our first single crochet, chain 1, and we're going to do one more row with the purple, and then we're going to switch to green. Join into the top of our first single crochet, but instead of pulling with our purple, we're going to drop our purple and pick up our green and pull that through instead. And chain 1, and now we're going to make 3 rows of 20 green single crochets. Join into the first one, chain 1. But before I get too carried away, I'm going to go ahead and pull these tails to the inside of the booty here. And I'm going to attempt to flip this inside out and sew those in. I didn't do this on the first booty, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but I figured it would be easier while it's still really short. I apologize if you can hear my daughter and husband playing in the background. That is their bedtime routine, and they are 2 doors away from me, and the doors are closed, and I can still hear them. So if you can hear them, I apologize. They are just doing their nighttime routine. Now I'm going to sew in these tails really quick, and notice I didn't cut my purple yarn yet. I'm going to continue to use that for the other stripes, so keep them both working for now, and then we will cut them at the end and try to sew them in. But I'm going to sew this purple tail and my 2 gray tails, and I think I can probably get my 1 green tail too, and I will come back and we will start on our green stripes. So I'm not going to sew in my green tail because I don't have any green body to put it into, and I don't want it to accidentally peep through the fibers on the purple, so I'm just going to leave it there for now and maybe try to flip this whole thing inside out later and sew it in, or maybe do a couple rows of green and then sew it in. We will see. I'm going to flip it right back out so I can see what I'm doing. Looking good. And now I'm going to do 3 rows of 20 single crochets with the green yarn. Okay, just finished my 3 rows of green. I'm going to join into the top of my first single crochet, but instead of pulling the green back through, I'm going to give my purple a little tug and then pull it through and chain 1. Now I'm going to try to get fancy and sew in that green tail because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't. So I'm just going to roll this sock over and sew it in really quick and then roll it back up like it was never even there. Being careful not to accidentally sew these 2 pieces together. So I'll have my fingers underneath so I can make sure I don't pop out to the front side and sew it rolled up like this. Just gonna hide this green tail really super quick. Now I'm gonna have to go back to that other one and flip it inside out all the way and try to get all those tails sewn in because it's gonna drive me crazy just knowing that one of them is perfect and the other one is a little sloppy. Okay, now we can continue with purple. We're gonna do 3 rows of purple, 20 single crochets in each row, join into the top of the first single crochet, chain 1. Okay, join into the top of my first single crochet, but instead of pulling my purple back through, I'm going to drop my purple, pick up my green, chain 1, and now I'm going to single crochet 1 time in each stitch for a total of 20 single crochets with my green for 3 rows, and then we have 3 more rows of purple and we can tie off. Okay, 3 rows with my green, join into the top of the first, grab my purple, we are finished with our green now, and we're going to do 3 more rows with purple, and then we can cut our yarn, and then we will attach these guys to the backpack. So get excited. Okay, join into the top of our first single crochet and cut off our yarn for the purple and the green and tie this guy off. Now we can sew in those last 2 tails, and this boot is done. Look at our 2 little witch boots. Aren't they cute? I kind of love these. I need to think of other things I can use them on because they're precious. Maybe make a jack-o'-lantern and have these 2 little feet hanging out at the bottom of the pumpkin and look like a little witch jack-o'-lantern. That would be cute. On to the backpack. Okay, now that we have finished both of our legs and finished our backpack body, it is time to attach our legs to our backpack. Now this is a little tricky because we are going to want them to be on the outside. So this is where we're going to have to do it. You set them up the way that they need to be, like toes facing out. So not like this, unless that's just what you want. And then we are going to put these on the hat like this. And then we're going to flip the thing inside out. All together. So flip the bag inside out and then pull the legs through so they're laying on the hat like we had them. Okay. So now my legs are laying on the hat. The toes and the heel are right here and the toes are pointing out. And they are lining like this. And what we're gonna do is single crochet this guy together, but we need to make sure our 2 tunnels are lined up perfectly. And then flatten out our backpack. And that will make our stitches line up better. And that way our backpack is in half and not conkywampus. Now we're going to flip it over and adjust our yarn. I hope that wasn't too complicated. So we have 80 stitches around the base of our backpack, but we are going to pair them up 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So we're going to have 40 single crochet stitches along the bottom to close it up, but these each have 10. We're going to have a space between the two feet. So I'm going to do 8 leg for 10, 4 leg for 10, 8. That's my goal. I haven't tried it yet. If it looks weird, I will re-video, but if it looks good, then that's where we're going to stay. So I'm going to put my hook over here and get ready to crochet these pieces together, starting with these 2 over here. Okay, so to start, we're going to put our hook through the first stitch on this side of the bag, and then the first stitch on that side of the bag, which is technically the last stitch in the circle that we were doing to make the bag. And we're going to place a single crochet right there, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to go into this stitch, into the first stitch on the front half of the leg, in through the first stitch on the back half of the leg, and then in the stitch that matches up with this guy on the back piece of the backpack. And you can see we are through 4 stitches on our hook. And then we're just going to place our single crochet right there through all 4 of them. And we're going to go in, and this will be 2, 2, 2. There we go. And we're going to do this for a total of 10 stitches because there was 20 stitches on our stockings. Okay, that's 9. Then we have one more through our stocking here. There we go. The last one's a little weird because it's on the edge. 10. Now we're going to do 4 more stitches here in the middle, which will be between the 2 legs. One, 2, 3, 4, and then we are going to do these 10 stitches. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last one. Then we should have 8 stitches left, and then good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Now I'm just going to cut my yarn and tie off and then flip it inside out and see how it looks. We can cut our yarn and tie off over here. And now let's flip it right side out and hope our legs are in the right spot. Here we go. Oh, aren't they cute? These are so fun. Oh my gosh. Okay, so please excuse my horrible what I'm getting ready to show you, but I have to back out so you can see the whole thing. You're getting ready to see my camera rig here. But I want to show you it all in its whole. Can you see? Wait, there we go. Isn't it cute, you guys? I'm obsessed with this thing. Ava is going to love it. All I have left to do now is sew in all of my tails and add the straps. For this backpack, I decided to get this velvet knitted cord from Hobby Lobby. Yarn Bee Chunky Knit Velvet in black. This puppy was $20, but I used a 40% off coupon, and I think I could get a lot of backpack straps out of this one skein. 40 yards, so we should see how many backpacks I can get out of this. I'm not going to show how to put this guy together because it's already on the dinosaur backpack, which was the original version to this pattern, and the shark backpack. The dinosaur backpack, I used a crochet I-cord for the backpack straps, and the shark backpack used like macrame cord, a cotton macrame cord for the straps, and this one will be using these little velvet straps. Feel free to get creative and find you some straps. I am going to try to get some pictures of Ava wearing this pretty little thing and put them here at the end of the video for you. You can also find lots of fun pictures on my Instagram at A Crafty Concept. Instagram is where I spend most of my time and would love to see you guys over there. So head on over to Instagram and say hi and let me know what you will be using a witch backpack for. Have a great day. Bye.